immersed in treacherous waters, holding her breath until her heart can't fight her. She slips under, the ocean bed, her final rest. And as breath left, chest caved in, darkness heavy on eyelids until her heart fills up, like helium lifting her out of the waters, she hears a voice. In the name of the Father, in the name of the Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit. And the clock winds down, time, past and present in one, a man, who is also the one and true God. He comes out of the waters, a voice. This is my Son, in whom I am pleased. And she kneels at the altar. The priest dips his fingers into a jar. He says, in the name of the Father, in the name of the Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Set apart, he marks her, and she feels the heavens open up, and light shines upon her. She covers her face, tears streaming down her cheeks, tears and holy oil stain her hands. And the clock winds down, time, past and present in one. Another woman makes her way in the crowded room, alabaster box in her hand. She kneels at the teacher's feet, and she anoints him, and her tears wash his feet, and her hair dries the tears. Praise, he calls it praise. Clock winds down, time, past, present, one. In the garden, the oil press, he weeps, water, he sweats, blood. It is almost time. She sits, knife in hand, red line on wrist, blood seeping through clenched fist, and the clock stops. The doorpost above her bed painted red, red blood dripping from his head, God incarnate hanging on a tree. And with his last breath, it is finished. She wakes up.
Okay, let's try that again. Do you want me to count down in German again?
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
It just adds effect. So my experience working on Art on Blast for this season, specifically season 2, I was challenged. I was in a weird space creatively. I think this year, 2020, has been a lot for everybody. And for me, it actually challenged me creatively. I was a bit stuck. And so that was it was tough to start the process, but it was actually a great catalyst. So Art on Blast in itself, it pushed me to really stretch my creativity, to actually go deeper within myself and pull something out. So that experience was amazing. My process that I went through, I looked at the theme. I've been involved in 2 episodes. So for the one episode, I had an artist's, a musician's kind of their work, and I actually worked off of that. That inspired my poetry. And then the other theme, I just had the theme, and it was a versus, it was a battle, and I just went off the theme, went off the words. Words inspire me a lot. So my process a lot of the time is actually a word comes to me, and I start writing. And what was surprising was, as challenging as it was, I did both of those poems in one take. I didn't edit. It was just, it is what it is. Yeah. And my experience working with other artists, it was interesting because it was virtual this time. So I think not having the artist in the room, I rely on that a lot. And so that challenged me. I had to actually be challenged by not having the artist in the room to work with. I had to look at a video or just, it was very virtual, and that felt a bit weird for me. But at the end of the day, we did it. We killed it. Yes, I'm gonna wait for these cars to drive past.
I'm gonna get you looking awkward. Many cars, guys, many cars. People are coming home from work.
What is going on? Yeah, and So yeah, I guess I spoke about the challenges that I faced, that there were a lot of internal challenges. I did have some also technical challenges because I am not a videographer. Me, I write. That's what I do. I write and I can speak. That's it. So I had challenges with video and creating video, and that was very interesting. I would definitely recommend Art on Blast to other artists. Firstly, personal growth, next level. I don't think anything compares to actually being put on the spot, creating on the spot, and then having to actually collaborate with other artists. It really pushes you. Secondly, networking, amazing. I've met amazing artists that I can now work with in the future.
Dumela madi a etsho, dumela madi a me. Dumela sentlhokomologe ke go botsa matsogo. I've buried the past in the sense of time. I've buried all that could hold you accountable in the journey of life. I've grown, I've matured. At least that's what they call it. But I've seen, I've heard all the things you don't recall. My name is being mentioned in households I've never set my foot in. Cause you can't keep shut about how you helped me out the other day. But my blood is thicker. Ke go utlwetse nkgate ke tlhaname. Tlhoma tshwape o sena ka tsa tholo. I sit still and talk to the depths of my soul. Still as the water flows in Lamina. Still as you stood when I told you I need you. And you didn't move. Still waters run deep. Like you ran, told them how I failed, couldn't bear kids of my own. Behind my back, told my kid the blood I bleed is not her own. Blood is thicker. When I was 8, told you he touched me otherwise and said the things I don't like. You said it's because I couldn't choose my clothes right and close my thighs tight. Okay, no, but I had to lay there. Sacrificial blood flowing turbulently out of me. But I had to keep shut and dress smart because his family and blood is thicker. But forbid I was a kid. I can't even bear kids of my own. All I can bear is the pain, the humiliation from people I can kill with my bare hands. Clap hands for the blood that is thick enough to torment, harass, hide and bury. Clap hands for the self that is strong enough to carry embarrassment and no husband wants to marry. Clap hands for the blood that isn't thick enough when I bleed, but it's like oil and water.
Who are you?
I am Kebafilwe Kotsedi. I am 20 years old, soon to turn 21. I'm a student at Wits studying performing and visual arts, majoring in animation and game design. I'm a pretty reserved person, not so well outspoken. I like expressing myself through art.
Okay, what do you do?
I am studying animation, as I said, and game design. So I animate, I also do illustrations for games, also a poet and a singer.
Why do you do what you do?
I love pretty much everything that I do. So I think that's because that's the reason why I do what I do. I love singing and I've been singing for as long as I can remember. And also poetry has just been part of my life for like all my life. And with animation, I was just curious on how animations come to be, like cartoons. And so yeah, that's pretty how I actually got into doing animation and game designing.
How did you get to this point?
With animation and game design combined, the digital arts part, it was all groomed by studying at Wits. So like I said, I was driven by passion and my curiosity. So I just got into Wits and